higher, the Creator. Ooh, Shabbat shalom. Oh, praise the living Creator. Oh, yeah. Welcome to King Dawei's ministry. Yes, people, we're back. King Dawei, man. We're back. A song of praise to the Creator. But also, blow the show for man. I've got some non-copyright music on the background. Let's go, man. Praise high, living Creator. Love, peace, save lives, man. Love, peace, save lives, man. Life is precious, man. Where's what said? He said, yo, David, one lesson a week now. Still feed the people, man. Do you understand? Inspire the people. One lesson a week, man. I'm gonna blow the show for the higher. Okay, people. This is for the widow, the needy, the outcast, the stranger, the homeless, those who feel injustices, man. Deen means justice, yeah. So many people are calling out for justice, yeah. I'm here. The Most High sent me. Let's blow the show for. Can't blow too loud, yeah, my son's asleep, man. Alright. Got some notes which I'll be reading from. Got some notes which I shall be reading from King Dawei. Webster's 1828 dictionary definition of what Americans hear the consequent transplant of the Europeans. Praise higher, living Creator. Oh, soon the wicked will be destroyed. The scripture states, oh, God of Maker, you've had your day. And now the Most High swooping in to save the day, yeah. Praise higher, oh, praise higher. Got my notes ready, people. Got one for the week, for the people, feeding you for free. Never ever taking donations, man. Let's believe, man. Back to back, man. Back to back, man. King David, don't fuck about, man. In the sun. King David, don't fuck about, man. Back to back, man. Back to back, man. Let's go. King David, don't fucking about. And just that one there. Bam. And let's read the first piece of paper, man. This lesson is about Gog of Magog, but mainly focusing on the oppressor. So this is just going to be like random bits of information which I've gathered through the week. It's going to have the law and other bits of information in there. I think we need more lighting. 2 seconds. More lighting. Don't worry. We'll have the lights that we got there. Trace higher there. Look at the lights that we got. So on the 4th of May, 1961, 13 ordinary people absorbed two buses in Washington. This is like random information about our history as well and how we get treated. In Washington DC, they went soldiers. They weren't soldiers or politicians, just students, ministers, and everyday citizens who believed the Supreme Court's ruling. Who believed the Supreme Court's ruling on interstate bus disingressions should forgive me if that's wrong, and it should only actually mean something they called themselves Freedom Riders. By the time they reached Anniston, Alabama, a mob was already waiting there to attack the riders with pipes and bats before police showed up. An arrangement made in advance with local police commissioner Bull Connor, who told the Powell Arabs, "You can beat them or kill them." No one was arrested that day. Human zoos displayed indigenous and colonized people for Powell Arabs to view. Lewis World Fair. There were more than 1,000 Filipino from different ethnic groups. 1906 Bronx Zoo human called Otabenga. We learned about him. Poor Otabenga, man, bless him, man. He killed himself in the end. He was kept in a human zoo with orangutans and chimpanzees and that. He had a family. He was taken from Venezuela. This is just random information which I've been saving for you guys. Venezuela, political crisis deepening due to earthquake. Magnitude 7.6 earthquake. Philippines 7.4. Mexico hit Chiapas and Guatemala. Earthquake, California, Japan. Violent earthquake shakes Santa Maria Camera. That's the 17th. Catastrophic. Students evacuated because of fire. Horses evacuated. Kenneth Fire, California. Ontario wildfires. Nearly 900 wildfires burn across Canada, forcing evacuations. Flood in China. Oregon. Wildfires growing. 1923, Rosewood, a white woman lied about being attacked by a black man to cover up her affair. A mob of 200 white Arabs burned the entire black town of Rosewood, Florida to the ground. Up to 150 black people killed. Nobody was charged, all because a white woman lied. And then the law of hire to circumcise the male offspring, Genesis chapter 17 verse 12, Leviticus 12 verse 3, to put tzitzits on the corners of clothing. Numbers 15 verse 38, hire will destroy Gog and Magog. Prophecy Ezekiel 38 verse to 39, Gog, a ruler from the land of Magog, leading a vast army of nations to attack a restored, seemingly defenseless Israel. According to the scriptures, Hire will draw these armies into battle for a specific purpose, to reveal his holiness to the nations. The destruction of this invading force is absolute divine judgment. Hire will destroy them with great earthquakes, torrential rains, hailstorms, pestilence, and fire sent upon Magog. Cursed. Era Crusade. I'm not sure. I think it says Crusade. Crusade era 11 to the 13th centuries. No, hang on. Pestilence upon Magog. So the 11th and 13th centuries. The event after the Fatimid Caliph, Calph, Al-Hakim ordered the destruction of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in 1009, and Seljuk Turks disrupted Christian pilgrimage routes. That's it. European Christians launched the Crusades. Human rights, Article 9, protection of your rights to freedom of thought, belief and religion. You have the right to put your thoughts and your beliefs into action. Look through some books. Info from NASA website. A linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft a constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth, is derived and defined. Derived and defined. Where are we? Undefined. Yeah, I think that's the end of that part there. So this is the next one now, and the next what I was doing. So, hang on. He's missing something there. Derived and defined. I can't find the last part of that part there. Maybe I'm missing a piece of paper somewhere. Forgive me. Yeah, I think I'm missing a piece of paper now. Forgive me, people. Derived and defined. 2 seconds, people. Right. Well, I'm going to continue reading. Okay, paper number 2. This, anyway, we're talking about to fly an aircraft, it's over a flat non-rotating plane. So notes for the 20th, the most significant populations of Arab Christians formed among Roman populations, especially in the province of Rome, Arabia. The growth of Christianity on the Arab Peninsula was driven by Proselytism, dyslexic, autistic, and ADHD. This man's source of that word again were missionaries from Christian churches, especially Syrian churches from the Byzantine Empire, Christian Iraq populations in the Sasanian Empire, partially from Al-Hira, and Ethiopian Christians from the newly converted kingdom of Aksum, who in the early 6th century conquered Himyar, the ruling power over South Arabia outside of Arab Peninsula. Populations of Arabs lived in the Roman Empire. Remember, Romans Esau, our twin brother, who introduced us to Christianity, and they got took over, and we all got took over, man. And they put us into perpetual servitude. So, Roman Empire and in other places in the Near East, after the conversion of Constantine the Great to Christianity in the early 4th century, large large swarms, I think, of these Arab converted to Christianity. So they converted to Christianity, okay. The people from the north, the dark Arabs' conversion to Islam, the early Muslim conquest or Islamic conquest. The early Muslim conquered or Islamic conquests, also known as the Arab conquests, were a series of religious wars initiated by Muhammad, a prophet of Islam. In 622, he established the first Islamic state at Medina in Arabia, from where Muslims expanded rapidly under the succeeding Rashidun Caliphate and the Umayyad Caliphate, culminating in Islam law being extended throughout most of West Asia and North Africa, parts of South Asia and Central Asia, and parts of the Mediterranean Europe. The conversion of Arabs to Islam began in the 7th century. The expansion 7th to 8th centuries during the Muslim conquest. Arab armies expanded across Middle East and North Africa, and then the war over the Holy Lands, the Americas, Crusades, 1095 to 1291, 1095 to 1099, proclaimed by Pope Urban II, military campaign to recover the Americas from Muslim rule. So they were fighting over our lands, basically, with the nations. Daniel, some scriptures now. Daniel chapter 11 verses 40 to 45. At the time of the end, the king of the south shall attack him, and the king of the north, this is on about Gog and Magog, shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, horsemen, and many ships, and he shall plant the tents of his palace between the sea and the glorious holy mountain, yet he shall come to his end, and no one will help him. So no one will help the ones who are bullying everyone, man. Japheth is a son of Noah. Gog is one of Japheth's sons. Genesis chapter 10. Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiraz, who became the Arabs. Law of Hoya, not to slander. Leviticus 19 verse 16, not to take revenge. Leviticus 19 verse 18, to learn Torah and teach it. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 7. Papa Ball 1493, Alexander the 6th. On May the 4th, it granted Spain the crowns of Castile and Aragon. Don't forget, my family used to rule Spain, Iberians. Document of discovery could be claimed, expounded, and exploited by Christian rulers. So they came into our lands and just took it as their own. Okay. Third Geneva Convention laws: prisoners of war must be treated humanely, protected from violence, and given adequate food, clothing, and medical care. The Luciferian New World Order elites are working to establish a totalitarian anti-higher world government. The New World Order is revealed to be a plan made by Lucifer that will enable him to bring peace to the universe by taking away the living creator and his laws, man, and sons. So he thinks that he can do the living creator's job, but he's not doing a very good job, is he, man? The Morning Star, man, he's worshipped in the Masonic lodges, part 2 coming up.